Hello, YouTube viewers. Again, thank you for tuning in today. What we're going to discuss today is if statements and switch statements. Um, so without any further delay, we're going to go ahead and jump into this lesson for today. So go ahead and open Eclipse or whatever IDE you want to use. And the first thing I want to discuss is a simple if statement. So I already have this class set up. I'm going to go ahead and create my main method. So main, control spacebar, main method. And from here, we're going to go ahead and do our simple if statements. So let's say, for instance, we want to know, let's say, for instance, we want to know if if an object is over a certain limit. So let's go ahead and create our variable. We'll do int weight, and we'll set weight equal to 200 pounds, or 200, excuse me. And then we're going to write a simple if statement. This is how you do it. You just type out if, open parentheses, and let's say if weight is less than 225, we want you to know that you are in good health. Okay, so it would help if I spelled it right. Okay, so if weight, basically, what you want to look at is the end within this parentheses. What's happening is evaluating if it's true or false, the statement that you have in there. So your if statement, your if keyword goes here, then you have your open and close parentheses, and within there, you want to have a true or false statement. So my true or false statement is weight less than 225. And if that's what happens, then this is going to print out. Now, wait, so let's go ahead and do that before we jump ahead. Save, okay. You are in good health because weight is less than 225. So let's go ahead and change it. And let's put that weight is, oops. Let's put it right at 225. Control save, run it. And if you notice here, let me get the console out. Nothing's happening. And the reason why is 225 is not less than 225. So you can bring in less than or equal to, and we'll get it to run here. Okay. You are in good health. Okay. So let's go ahead and leave that there. Let's bring it to 235. Nothing happens here. Okay. Now, with the if statements, if something happens, you would want something else to happen. Like, okay, like if this happens, then you would say if else, bias out, control space. Let me explain it to you right here. My work out. Okay. So basically now what I've added is an else statement in this if. So let's say, for instance, it'll say you are in good health here. If you're over the 225, then you might want to work out. So let's run that, and boom, you might want to work out. And that's because the way we have it set up, like, so if this is true, do this. If it's false, do whatever in the else. Now with the if statements, this is tricky. You always want, when you have these, you always want to put these brackets around here, because let's say, for instance, you want something else to happen. Let's say you have another int. Here, I'm going to say int happy. So let's say for whatever reason we want to, if this occurs, if this statement is true, we want happy to equal 35. Okay, and then we're gonna come down here. Watch this. That's why it's out. Happy. And now we're getting an error. Now I'm gonna break down this error for you. What's happening is it's calculating. It's like, okay, so if happy equals 34, if this statement is true, happy will equal 34. What if it's not true? So it already lets you know, like, hey, if it's not true, And what are we going to do? So what we need to do is happy equals 25. Okay, so pay attention to what's going to happen here. We're going to run it again. Right now, happy weight is 235. Okay, and then it's saying if weight is less than or equal to 225, assign happy to number 34 and print you might want to work out. Okay, let's see here. So you might want to work out happy is 25. Perfect. That's what we want. Now let's change it to 215. Watch what happens here. Okay, so it says you are in good health. Boom. But also look at that. We get this. Happy equals 34. Why didn't this happen? Again, remember when I said earlier about the curly braces? You want to enclose that in because what's happening is it does this last statement here, and basically your if statement, this is your entire if statement. This is not included in your if statement. So if you want to include any other line in your if statements, again, use your curly braces so you can include that and watch what happens. So I include my curly braces. Again, weight is still left at 215, which is less than this, so this is what we're expecting. So if I run it now, you are in good health, happy equals 34. Again, that's because I enclose these in the curly braces, so this is all part of the else statement. So let's change this to 245 just to show you. Okay, so you might want to work out. Boom, the 25 gets assigned this time. So definitely with your if statements, you want to be very careful to include your curly braces. Even if you have one line, just to get in the habit of it, always include your curly braces here, okay? So that's the example of simple if statements and an if else statement. Now I want to introduce something else. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to change this to a Boolean because we haven't used a Boolean in a while. It's happy. Now I'm going to set this equal to true. And so we're going to do our if statements here. If weight is less than 250, so say, oh, I completely forgot to put my SYS out. Control sys out. And right here, I'm going to show you the and the or statements within your if statements. Okay, have my else statements. Curly braces here. Okay, so let's say for instance we have here. So what I'm setting up is I'm going to set this up so it can do the and statement. So let's say for instance we want to see if the person's under 250 and if they're happy. So to do your and statement, you're going to do weight less than 250 and so you use your ampersand sign equal to true. Oops, we want to do this way. Okay. So it's saying if you're under 250 and is happy is equal to true, display this. If not, display that. So in here, we have two conditions in our if statements. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, you are in great shape and happy. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and change this to false. So is happy is equal to false. So what we're expecting is for this condition up here not to display. Go ahead and run this. Perfect. You are in okay shape, but you are not happy. Which, again, we have our and. Now, let's say, for instance, we want our or statement. Let's go ahead and our or statement here. So basically this is saying either this is true or this is true. Okay. Again, in the previous and statement, both conditions within your if parentheses has to be true. So for this one, only one of them has to be true. So let's run this. Again, we have is happy set to false. You're in great shape and happy. So we see what happened here. So let's change this to 235. Watch this. And you see what happens here? It evaluates this first, then it stops because it's like, oh, this is not true. And it stops there. And it just jumps right here. Let's run that again. Now if we switch this, and watch this, we're gonna have this display. Oh, my mistake, sorry. I don't know why I said that. Let's go back. Forgot to change that. Scratch what I said earlier, sorry about that. Okay, so you are in great shape and happy. See what happens here? Weight is less than 2, is greater than 245. So this statement is false. But this one is true. So it does this. So again, either or right here. Okay, my mistake about that. But yeah, so this is the or statement. Okay, so now let's go to our case statements. We'll keep this here. So in our case statements, or switch statements. Getting my SQL and Java mixed up. So switch, wait, let's say if case is 2, we're going to go by 5s. So 235. And we're going to do okay. So that's our first case statement. Then we want to include our break statement. And I forgot my curly braces. I'm going to put those in before I forget going down. So here's our curly brace. We'll add another case statement. This time we'll go up to 240. So we'll do one more after this. Out. Okay. Break. And again, the break, you don't have to include that. I just include it because features of case. Now we have our 245. Out. Okay. And then what we want to do is add another break or semicolon. And you don't have to, but I like to add a default. So basically something that if whatever occurs that you're basically, I have my variable in here. It could be a char, it could be it could be whatever it is. You put it in here and it evaluates what is this equal to. So instead of having multiple if statements, you can use a case statement, a switch. Okay, so it's saying if weight is 235, just do this. Weight is 240, do that. 245, do that. If weight is none of these that I've listed out, then press out. And we're going to say okay. So what we're expecting is to see this. this should be your max weight. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Control save. Okay, this should be your max weight. Perfect. And if we change it to 235, you are at a great weight, which is the first one. Now let's change this to 85. Save, run. I don't know what your weight is. Again, that's your default. Now, if we don't have this default here, let me comment this out and run it. And what's going to happen here is nothing because we don't have a default. So nothing happens because weight doesn't equal 235, 240, or 245. And you can continue with these case statements. And this is another thing you could do. Delete this. Oops. Okay. So let's change it to 235. Watch this. Run. Okay. Your weight is okay. So it basically defaults. If I have case 235, 240, I want the same thing to occur. So instead of, again, one thing about when you're coding, you want to use as little code of lines as you can. So instead of just having this out repeated twice, I just simplify it. I'm like case 235, 240. Your weight is okay. So if we run this, changes to 240. Okay. Your weight is okay. Perfect. Okay. And actually, this is going to be the last lesson where we go through this. For now on, I just wanted to introduce the basics. So for now on, our lessons are just going to be exercises. I'm going to give you guys a scenario and we're going to work through it together. So our next scenario that we're going to do, just to give a little preview, we're going to do something as far as an if grade class. And basically what we're going to do is pass certain parameters. We're going to kind of tie in what we've been doing. We're going to do some if statements, some case statements, and the next exercise after that, I really kind of enjoy that one because that one we're going to tie in the argument part as well. So we're going to involve our if statements, passing arguments through methods. So hopefully you guys you tune in for that one. Definitely want to continue. Like that's my plan after these first seven lessons is to just start doing some exercise so we can really get that real life scenario to see how these apply. Because I know that's how I learn best is applying this to something that can really happen. Okay, so again, hopefully you guys are enjoying these lessons. Please hit the like buttons, leave comments below. I will do my best to answer every question you guys have. Oh man, thank you for tuning in today. And you guys have a great day.